In today's video, I'm going to show you how to draw a chrysanthemum like a Japanese tattoo.
Ouch!
And even if you're not really into tattoos, but you want to learn how to draw chrysanthemums in general, then you're in the right place because the same rules apply. I'll first start by showing you the basic form, and then I'll walk through every step of the process. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to draw a chrysanthemum from start to finish. Stick with me for a moment. I promise that this step will help you with your drawing later on. So it's important to know how a chrysanthemum starts its life. If we can understand how the flower is formed, the easier they are to draw. Like most flowers, each petal's insertion is at the bottom of the bud. When we draw a chrysanthemum in its mature stage of life, this is helpful to remember. This will all make more sense to you when we get a little further down the line with the drawing. But for now, remember each petal follows this pattern. If I'm using Procreate to do my drawing, which is 95% of the time these days, I like to use the airbrush tool to do a few thumbnail drawings first. If you don't know what a thumbnail drawing is, it's basically a small scale quick sketch to figure out the composition and layouts without worrying about details. You can spend as much time as you like at this stage, but this part of the process takes me around 15 minutes max before I've figured out the flower shape I'm going with. So I first start by drawing the centre of the flower. I mark the bottom centre with a dot. This is an imaginary insertion point, and then I mark the top of the flower. Chrysanthemums come in many shapes and sizes, but typically, ones we draw for tattoos have a ball-shaped centre. At this stage, I'm very loosely marking each petal. As you can see, it makes sense to start here. If we get this bit right, which isn't too hard, everything else should fall in place quite nicely. Once this section is in, we can then simply work outwards layer by layer. Try and imagine that the flower starts its life as a tight little ball of petals, and as it grows in size, the outer petals fall away from the centre while still being attached at the base. As we slowly start moving out, as you could imagine, we would start to see the inside of the petal, which I'm marking here. If things go well and I get enough interest in these videos, I would like to turn this into a 12-week drawing series, and I need your help. If there is something specific you would like me to cover in future videos, let me know in the comments below. I would love to hear from you. As the initial sketch starts to come together, I will soon flip the drawing and make sure it looks right both ways. But as always, something feels a bit off to me at this stage. I can see when the image is flipped that the flower appears slightly skewed. I could easily modify it with the distort tool, which is totally fine, but I'm early into the drawing, so I'll refine it as I go along. When you come to a section where one petal is running behind the other and it appears again on the other side, it's important to line it up properly. You only have to pay attention to this when you get to the outer layers of the flower. At this stage, I'm really refining the petals and the direction they are moving. Remember how I said earlier that you want to imagine that every petal has an imaginary insertion point underneath the flower. This is the time to make them adjustments. There's something about a chrysanthemum that I don't get with any other flower I draw, and that is knowing when to stop with the petals. You can really go to town making the flower very dynamic, adding lots of petals in various directions, or you can make things a little more simple looking, which is what I'm going with today. When it comes to the leaves, chrysanthemums are very distinctive. They can be very similar to peony leaf depending on the breed of peony, but they are not as elongated or pointy. Chrysanthemum leaves have more of a lobed oval and jagged shape to them, kind of similar shape to a parsley or an oak leaf. When adding leaves to the flower, you can add as little or as many as you like, but be mindful not to overdo it. If you turn in your drawing into a painting or a tattoo, the leaves are there to complement the flower, not dominate it. Once everything's in place and I'm happy with how the overall drawing is looking, I then start to finalise the drawing by adding my outline. If you made it this far into the video, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, and if you'd like to keep learning with me, hit the subscribe and bell button. Want to keep going now? Check out the previous 2 videos in this series here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you over there.